In this video, I'm going to talk about organizational cultures. The first half of Chapter 2 talked about culture in general and how that affects us in the workplace. Here I want to look at different organizational cultures. Our workplaces have their own cultures, which are often guided by management. And this particular chapter, this section, is going to talk about those different organizational cultures and some of the most common theories that abound in this field. Starting with the traditional or classical, sometimes called Theory X, human relations, human resources or Theory Y, systems and contingency models, sometimes called Theory Z, and finally transformational. So let's take a look at each of these. First, we have our traditional or classical model known as Theory X. And what this was is this was a first attempt to try to manage an organization. Frederick Taylor came in and he defined what he called scientific management. He went into basically this company where the men were shoveling pig iron. I'm not sure exactly what pig iron is, but that's what it was, some kind of iron ore. And he looked at how many men did it take to shovel this? How big were their shovels? How fast did they work? And then he tried to decide if it could be done differently. If they had a different size shovel, could they work more efficiently? If I put one man shoveling up and one man shoveling down, will that work better? So that was the founding behind this scientific theory, taking a scientific approach. Notice we also have the arrow going up there. This is what we call bottom-up management, looking at how the employees at the bottom level of the organization are operating and using that to trickle up into management and dictate how management should then manage. Now, what Frederick Taylor really advocated, he didn't want man to be viewed as just a machine, but man was a collaborator with his boss, and they would work together to figure out the most efficient way of doing things, ultimately helping the worker to receive higher wages and helping the company to go further. So one of the things they looked at was standardization of tasks. Is there ways that we can do tasks within an organization so that it's done most efficiently? I want you to take a look at the Ford Motor Company video, or the video that talks about this. And assembly lines were created as a method of standardizing tasks and helping employees to work more efficiently. Also, the hiring practices. Who did you hire to work for your organization? Is there a certain type of body build or personality that maybe would be best for this particular job? I know there was one job right after college that I interviewed for, and they had me take a personality test, and I didn't get offered the job. I'll never know exactly how my personality was deficient for that job, but nonetheless, it's still used today. Make sure you also train and reward your employees. So make sure they have all the training they need so that they can do the job to the very best of their ability. And then when they do a great job, reward them with more money. Who doesn't like to make more money, huh? Lastly, division of labor, making sure that people were really specialized at their jobs, that if I had to shovel this iron into this wheelbarrow and then wheel it across the yard and then dump it and do something else with it, it's going to take longer than if one person shovels, one person wheels, and one person dumps. So by dividing up the labor, you can make the company move more efficiently. Okay, the downside of scientific management here is that managers began to view employees that they were like machines. They were like parts of a machine that you could manipulate. Also, following into this is this basic idea that people are basically lazy and they're not going to work very hard unless you motivate them financially to work hard. In one of our textbooks that we previously used, Cheryl Hamilton's Communicating for Results, she describes the traditional manager's perspective as this. Always remember to let employees know who's boss. If you're too friendly and get involved with their personal problems, they'll take advantage of you and respect you less. To keep employee respect, you have to take control. For example, lateness should never be tolerated. In case of downsizing, don't give employees a chance to sabotage their workstations or computer programs. Instead of giving notice of termination, have security walk them directly to the door. To feel secure, employees need and want structure. Let them know where they fit in the company's organizational chart and clarify and expect chain of command to be followed. Tell them exactly how you want things done. Don't waste time asking for opinions. If you let them know that they're being watched and conduct time and motion studies to let them know how they stand, they'll appreciate you. As I've indicated, for productive employees, structure and control are essential. Employees are basically lazy and they'll goof off if you let them. If structure and control are not enough, money is a certain motivator. For a bonus, employees will do almost anything.